Hey guys, and welcome to this short little video on a game called The Kindred. The Kindred, as you can see, is a voxel-based management simulation, and those kind of words are instantly going to put people off, and I can understand why. Voxel style became very popular, and a lot of developers tried to pick it up, and disgraced it, if I'm perfectly honest. But there is a lot of potential within voxel games. It's a style I really like, and I think I really want them to be more than they are often. Because a lot of developers pick up the style because it can be easy to do than rendering fully 3D graphics, but they just don't make use of it. The reason why I like it is because it gives you an opportunity for this huge sandbox world that you can shape to your will, and games came out like, sorry to name drop, but Castle Story, that could have done it really well, but they just take so long to develop and nothing really happens with them, and at the end of the day they're games that aren't fun. This is a game though that I feel implements voxel-based world generation better. As you can see, you manage these little guys who all have names and everything. They have stats, and you can very much manage them. I mean, you can tell them what to do. So I've sent a couple to chop down trees, I've sent some to mine, and I can shape the land how I want. I can fully terraform it. Something which, first of all, a lot of voxel games don't do. So they create this huge world that is made up of cubes, but they don't let you manipulate it a lot of the time. And how it's been implemented in this game is very good. It's very well implemented, it's very easy to use, it's intuitive, and as I did say, it is in early access, as a lot of these games are, so what you're seeing now isn't fully representative of the final product, and a lot of things will be polished up and refined. But the point of the game is obviously to survive and to expand, so I'm sending these guys out to chop down trees and mine stuff, and with that I can craft certain things. So I could create a little farm going on. There's say a sheep over here, I could shepherd that back to the farm I've made, I could shear its wool, and I could use that to make clothes, to upgrade these little guys I have. I can obviously make houses for them to sleep in, so say if I already have one bed registered which will help them sleep, I'll place that down here, and then I can begin building some walls around it and create little houses for them. So this is the kind of game that allows you to, I'll just get some normal planks and place these around. I've already got some as it is, they started me off with them, so that's nice to know. It's one of the games that I think is what voxel games should be, and I know, like, who am I to say what voxel games should be, but it's a good management style game where you can create the world. The voxel style is used to make the world yours, I guess. It makes it so you get these nice worlds. A lot of people like the style, a lot of people don't, but they look very nice. This isn't on highest graphical settings, I had to turn them down a bit to record. But it allows you to, I'm just going to cancel these because I accidentally double clicked a lot there. It allows, oh no, I accidentally let one of them build. How do I delete that? There's a demolish tool somewhere. I do need to get used to the UI a bit more though. This video is mainly meant to be an introduction, first look, to bring people's light to the game, because for the developer team, another thing that is not done very well in early access, this developer team is actually working with the community. It's an early access title where the community is shaping the development of the game. Another missed opportunity with a lot of early access titles, because developers just don't listen to the community, and they ask for all this feedback, but then they don't do anything with it. This is not one of those games, I can assure you of that. It's one of those games that is more of a sandbox than, well yeah, it's a sandbox not only in its design, but it's a sandbox in how much control the community has over it too. They can't just play the game, they can essentially play its development, and they can shape the game to be how they want. My mouse, for some reason, is double clicking a lot, so I keep double placing these blocks. I think that's just whilst I'm recording, because, as I said, early access, there are some bugs to be ironed out, and this is a specific one to me, I believe, as FRAPS doesn't seem to be agreeing with what I'm trying to do right now. But you can see the appeal of setting up this little settlement for your villages. You send them out to explore, you can start this big farm, you can manage this little town of yours. So if you see it as a management simulation, as opposed to a survival game, I guess, like a lot of these games try to be, based on the game that shall not be named, then you can see how it's appealing. And despite its, I risk saying simplistic look. It has a lot of depth to it. There are things like power and electricity. If I hover these things up top left, there's nutritional value. There are kin, that's their name, that's what I was trying to remember. The name of these people are kin. You can get them to breed, obviously their happiness is a big factor. There's energy, you can, if I go down here to power, you can create power resources and generators which you can use to enable lights and get some more advanced things going on. And there is a crafting system. It's all fairly simple though. You just need to lay down a crafting bench and then you need to say what you want to make, and then the kin will go take the things they have and make what you want to make. And it kind of works on a queue-based system, so you can say what you want them to do and then they just go and do it, or you can manually assign them what you want them to do if you want to. So I've tried to start the works of a farm here. If I go back to the home menu, then go to seeds, I can put down the seeds I have so that they start growing some food for themselves. And you can see where the challenge will come in. Like if you focus too much on, say, building a house, then you're not going to have any food for them to eat. Or if you, say, focus too much on farming, then they're going to die of cold at night and have nowhere to sleep because you haven't been building at all. It's a game that I'm prepared to kind of follow the development cycle of, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. As of right now, I will honestly say, if you, like, it doesn't get my wholehearted recommendation, but it does get my recommendation of a game you should keep your eye on, and you should see where it shapes. And if it does seem like the sort of thing you'd like, this is definitely one of the games that has more potential than all these other early access voxel-based survival management sim games that are coming out. And the developers, as I said, they are ones that are actually working with the community, so that in itself earns my support. Because if developers do that, if they actually work with their community, the people who are making what they do possible, then it's a massive step in the right direction. And the developers are all really friendly. They're talking with the community, as I said, and like they have, as far as I know, they have a kid coming on the way. And the fact that they're still working on this game and not just abandoning it, another thing that a lot of developers seem to do when they take advantage of the early access system, they're not doing that. They've set out to create this game and they are committing to it. They are going to finish it and they are going to add all this content, if they keep going at the rate they are now anyway. So I didn't want to go too in depth. It's a game I want to get to grips to. I want to follow the development cycle, and this is kind of the game I wanted Castle Story to be. Because Castle Story, if you don't know, it's a game where you build a castle, you manage little people, you tell them to go and chop stuff. It's a very similar premise to this game, except nothing really happened with it. I backed it on Kickstarter, and it has been in early access now for, I think, 3 years, and the alpha model is still pretty much what it was when I got it to begin with. It's still very broken and non-functional, and it's received barely any updates. If I compare that to how this has been, then it's a massive improvement. And as I said, I wish more developers could do that. It's like I sent them so far away to mine. I'm sorry, friend. It's getting dark, and I have like one bed. I have a very poor attempt at a farm, and I don't have anywhere near enough lodging. I also tried to chop down this tree which fell in my house, and is now... I really didn't do too well at this. I kind of ended up ranting too much about early access in other games, that I neglected the poor little kin. Now they have nowhere to sleep, and oh, at least I've got a sheep. I didn't actually... I'll just hunt him for some food, seeing as it's probably a while before these crops grow. But as I said already, I'm going to end up repeating myself here, so I will bring this to an end. It's a game that right now, if it looks good and it looks like the sort of thing you'd be interested in, I do recommend picking it up. And then you can shape how it will develop, and you can shape the development cycle and everything like that. And I'm not someone who's, like, I have a very negative view on games, as you've probably worked out from this video, and I'm very critical of them, and I'm very worried or I have very low hopes of developers, but these ones really do have the sort of potential that I think more should, and that's why I felt so keen on making this video, to give them the support that they deserve, in all honesty. I haven't actually gotten to I need to click on the crafting bench, but they haven't built it yet. I'm going to speed things up a bit, because I haven't actually shown you the crafting system yet. All the things you see down here, those are simply the things I own. right now, but the crafting bench unlocks a whole load of new things. But I've kind of set them too many tasks. I got a bit too long term with this. So yeah, I'm gonna skip to when they build the crafting table. And okay, someone's actually making the crafting table, so now I can click on that, and here you can see the kind of stuff you can get in this game. You can get Coop's chicken, you can get all these tools which you can use to make your jobs more efficient. You can obviously actually make furniture and make your house look nice, as opposed to my horrible, very poor excuse of a house. And yeah, they're adding more content all the time, and they are working on fleshing out the game. You can get lots of different coloured beds, and this will be a very customizable experience where you really can manage this little village, this settlement you could build. And I imagine the limits are as much as you want them to be. Like, you could build an entire town or city and massively multiply the amount of kin you have. And thanks a lot to the developers for being good developers, unlike many others. Okay, I'm dipping back into rant mode. That's my time to end. This is me out.